Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday morning general session sponsored by UPS. Our program will be starting in 1 minute. NAWBO Institute Board to open our UPS member breakfast. You'll hear a little music, you go right up. Okay, everybody, I am back. Here's to another great show. I'm going to intro Shauna and we're ready to go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the stage Shauna Huntington from the NAWBO Institute Board to open our UPS member breakfast.
All right, good morning, everyone. I was asked to get everybody quieted down and settled in this morning. So hope everybody had a good time last night at the Derby Museum. The team does such a great job. Yes. Good job to the team. Great job putting on great events for us. I was talking to someone last night that every time we come to one of these WBCs, I always go home with new experiences that I got to see and experience. So thank you to the team for that. We have a lot more on the agenda for today, which we'll talk about as we get to the close of this session. So I'm Shauna Huntington. I am a member of the Kansas City chapter, and I also serve on the NAWBO Institute Board. So yes, Chiefs game last night. I had to stay up for the whole thing because they didn't make it easy. So I'm a little bleary-eyed this morning, but thought I would be going to bed at halftime, and they did not allow that to happen. So, so welcome today to the member breakfast sponsored by UPS. Representation matters, what it really means to be inclusive. We are honored to have two distinguished UPS pilots here this morning. Angel Hughes is a true trailblazer and has reached milestones for women in both the sky and on the ground. She is here to share her journey into aviation as one of the very few women and even fewer women of color, on the importance for us to all be aware of how we're supporting others, helping them to feel that they belong and are valued. To tell us more about Angel Hughes and the work that UPS is doing to build inclusion, I'd like to introduce UPS Chief Pilot, Captain Jeff Whiteman. Jeff is an Air Force Academy graduate and served 22 years on active duty and in the reserves. He has been a part of the UPS airline leadership team for 17 years, and as the Louisville Chief Pilot, helps lead and support over 2,200 pilots. Please help me give Jeff a warm welcome.
Well, thank you, Shauna. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Yeah? I hear there was a great activity last night. Maybe there's some hangovers going on, so I'll try to keep my voice down a little bit. So, on behalf of Deborah Wilson and myself and the UPS team, we'd like to thank NAWBO for the approximately 20 years that we've been partners together. UPS and NAWBO share a lot of common goals. One of those is obviously to propel women entrepreneurs' economic, social, and political strength, as well as common values and our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. means a lot to us at UPS and great to be here and support those causes. We look forward to many years in the future continuing this relationship and friendship. If you haven't had a chance to stop by the UPS booth, please do so and say hi today. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be here this morning and introduce our guest speaker, Angel Hughes. As you'll see, she is truly an amazing woman. She's wanted to be a pilot her whole life, similar to myself, and not just be a pilot, but be a leader, connect with organizations and build relationships and help people that need help. She's not just a member of the greatest airline in the world, UPS Airlines, where she flies internationally on the Boeing 757, 767, but she's also a certified flight instructor, meaning that she's able to mentor and fly with folks that are interested in the aviation passion. She's also a naval aviator, and I thank her for her service and commitment to our country. She manages all that, and she's a mother of 3. I'm sure there's folks in here that can appreciate how much work that is. And somehow, she finds time to create and found Sisters of the Skies, a nonprofit 501c3 organization. And that's really what we're here this morning to learn about that wonderful organization, also known as SOS. So SOS is a national aviation organization that was built on a foundation of helping minority women find their way through the crazy aviation industry. And how do you accomplish that goal from a passion to reality? And they do that through a variety of different ways. One of them is scholarships, one of them mentorship, and then, as you all know, a lot of that is based upon emotional support. Right? They just have questions. They need help. And that's what that organization does. And I really look forward to hearing, 40 minutes of Angel tell us what a wonderful story that is and the great work that they do day in and day out. As part of the leadership team at UPS, I couldn't be more proud of Angel. She doesn't simply just show up to work, operate her aircraft safely, be a professional, look like a professional, act like a professional, but look at all the other great things that she does. She's always doing something to deliver what matters and help our world be better. And that's truly an inspiration. Recently UPS kicked off an employee benefit called Community Connections. And what that is, it's the UPS Foundation matching dollar for dollar on employees' donations to their favorite 501c3 charity, which is an awesome gift. The Chief Pilot Division at UPS took that and how do we best educate our 3,500 pilots so they understand what a great benefit that is? And we created what's called a Pilot-Inspired Charity of the Month program. And I'm happy to announce today that November, Sisters of the Skies will be our Pilot-Inspired Charity of the Month. And this will give us an opportunity to educate our 3,500 pilots as a reminder what a great dollar-for-dollar match program we have as an employee benefit, but also to let them understand the great work that Angel does and what they can do from a financial resource perspective to help the cause. We limit pilot-inspired charities to only charities where the pilot either created the charity or they're on the board. And right now, we already have more than a dozen that are in line that pilots have created or on the board of. And Angels will be number 2. So really excited about that. All right, enough about me. It's time to meet the guest, the real speaker here. And hopefully just that little quick introduction, you quickly recognized she's not simply a pilot. She's a leader. She's an entrepreneur. She's a great inspiration. And I couldn't be happier to be her chief pilot Without further ado, please welcome Angel Hughes.
I don't need a crown to know that I'm a queen. I don't need a crown to know that I'm a queen. I don't see nobody else. Excuse me while I feel myself.
Wow, wow. I am stoked for us to be awarded that scholarship from UPS. So hey, I'm already choked up and I haven't even started speaking. So Jesus Christ, get my life together. Oh, wow. I'm so excited to be here at my very first NAWBO conference. And let me tell you, I am so not a morning person. As you can tell, I'm a cargo pilot, so I fly freight, usually in the middle of the night. So right about this time, I'd be getting to the hotel, and I'd actually be in my REM sleep. So I'm trying to fake it for you all this morning, so I'm gonna need some energy from you all to help me get through this. So. I had a chance to hang out with some of you ladies last night at the Derby Museum for the tour, and let me tell you something. I was very nervous speaking and presenting to you all today because I've never spoken to a non-aviation related crowd. So just hanging out with those ladies during the Derby, I see several of you all here right now. You definitely helped to ease my nerves and make me feel welcome. So just wanted to say thank you for that, and we're gonna get through this. All right, so my story starts back in 1986, back in the day, way back in the day. My mother, she said, Cookie, that's my childhood nickname in Jersey. She said, Cookie, you were a mistake. I know, right? Thanks, Mom, right? And I said, you know, let's rephrase that. I like to refer to myself as an ill-timed blessing. And what made my timing so bad, I guess, was 6 months after she had given birth to my oldest sister, she was pregnant with me. And she already had my 4-year-old sister. And so my parents, they migrated to New York from the country of Haiti, which is out in the Caribbean. So they migrated to New York in the 70s. They met in New York, fell in love, high school sweetheart, that whole type of story, got married, and started their family. So now fast forward to when I'm born. My mom, it's my 4-year-old sister, there's a 1-year-old sister, and then there's me, baby Angel, or Cookie, you know? And they were trying to make ends meet. You know, my parents are trying to figure it out. My mom, she went to nursing school. She enrolled in nursing school, trying to get herself together. My father, an avid athlete, soccer. He was playing in the minors. He was trying to make it to the majors. But by the time I came in the picture, it became clear that he had to hang up his cleats and get a steady 9 to 5 and try to figure things out, provide for his family. So with both of my parents trying to get themselves together, the burden was just a little bit too much, you know, with 3 young kids. So they sent myself and my sister, the one that's a year older than me, they sent us off to Haiti to live with my grandparents, just for a couple of years while they get themselves together so my mom can finish nursing school and my dad can find a stable 9 to 5. So I moved to Port-au-Prince. I lived with my grandparents for 2 years. I left when I was 2 years old, came back when I was 4, back to New York when I was 4 years old. And now it's time for me to start school. My parents moved across the Hudson River from New York to New Jersey. East Orange, New Jersey is my hometown. That's just outside of Newark. And now it's time for me to start school. Fast forward to 6th grade Angel. I'm 11 years old. The teacher introduces the topic of astronomy to my class. I immediately fell in love with the stars, the skies, the universe, the galaxies, and I went home and I said, Mom, I want to be an astronomer, So please buy me a telescope. I need to know what's going on with the planets. I need to know what Pluto's doing. Is it a planet or not? I need to know what's going on up there. And so my parents bought me a telescope. So I'm happy. I strive to be like astronomers, like Ptolemy, Galileo. Those were my mentors. I'm such a nerd, right? In 6th grade. As the school year would progress, I found out that not only are we studying the stars, the skies, from the ground, we're actually sending people to the moon. So I don't want to be an astronomer, be on the ground, miss all the action. I want to be in that space shuttle, and I want to be on the moon. So now, my new dream, I want to be an astronaut. I looked up the different positions on the space shuttle, and Google wasn't as apparent as it is like now, so I was in the encyclopedia. I'm only 21, everybody, so trying to guess my age, stop. So I looked in the encyclopedia and the different positions, and I was like, mission specialist, all these specialists. I was like, I don't know what that is. Pilot. Oh, now this seems pretty cool. Drive the space. I was going to drive the spaceship like this. Drive the spaceship to the moon. Yeah, I think I'm going to be a pilot. I think I could drive a spaceship. Yeah, easy. So I went home, and I told my mother, I said, Mom, I'm going to be an astronaut, specifically the pilot of the space shuttle. She said, oh, okay, so you don't want to be a garbage man anymore? And I said, no, I don't want to be a garbage man anymore. And, well, a few months prior to me wanting to be an astronomer, I wanted to be a garbage man, because I just thought it was so cool that, they were riding on the back of the truck, moving truck, and then they jump off, throw the trash in, and hop back on the truck. Oh, I thought that was so cool. I was like, I'm gonna be a garbage man, And before I wanted to be a garbage man, I wanted to be an ice cream truck driver, because I was like, I could be a DJ and have unlimited access to ice cream. Oh, I'm good. So after those, aspirations, and now I come from, ice cream truck driver to an astronaut, my parents were like, okay, great. You just let us know what we can do to support you, and all right, hopefully this one sticks. And so it did stick, obviously. Well, not an astronaut, but still the pilot. That was kind of my goal all along. So now I was charged with figuring it out. All right? Here I'm a young girl, inner city neighborhood, just outside of Newark. I don't know any pilots. I've never seen a female pilot, let alone a black pilot. All the pilots that I've seen were, just white men. And that was just the norm. And so now I'm charged with coming up with a plan. So in my 6th grade innovative mind, I gathered that becoming a pilot would require some education. So I said, all right, I'm gonna need to go to college. And I also know that it's going to cost some money because I need to pay for flight lessons. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to college, and then I will pay for flight school somehow, some way. I'll figure it out. And so I know that I can get through college using my athletic ability, because my father, full ride scholarship, soccer, University of South Florida. So I was like, okay, I can use my athletic ability. I play basketball and volleyball. I was like, I can use sports to get a college education. And then after that, I would go pro, because all collegiate athletes, go pro. So after college, I would go pro via the WNBA or just play basketball overseas. And at that point, then I'll have enough money to start paying for flight lessons. So that was my plan, all right? Good to go. Fast forward, I'm in high school, everything is going great. I have a plan, basketball, I'm All-American this, MVP that, it's going great, it's going according to plan. Just one day, I'm walking home from the park. It's the summer before my junior year in high school. And there's an abandoned firehouse directly across the street from my house. And just on this day, it wasn't abandoned anymore. There were lights on inside. There were cars parked on the outside. Looked like a lot of activity was going on. And I was like, it's been abandoned for a while. Let me cross the street, get a closer look at what's going on. And as I got closer, I saw a sign, little green sign, learn to fly here. Picture of a little airplane on it. And I was like, what? Oh, and I didn't care how I had my hoodie on, I had my basketball here, my shorts on, my basketball sneakers. I didn't care. I rang the doorbell, and there was this raspy voice on the other side. How can I help you? I said, I want to learn how to fly here, just like the sign says. And he buzzed me in, and he said, come upstairs. I was like, okay, cool, I'll come upstairs. So I walk inside the building, and as I'm making my way upstairs, on the first floor, there was a bunch of kids, my age and a little bit younger, but they had on green flight suits, they had white gloves, they had the shiny shoes on, and they were just sitting there like drilling, right face, left face. And I was just like, what is going on here? I go upstairs, and I meet the man with the voice. His name is Reverend Russell White. Now, Reverend White, he was a World War II vet in the National Guard, and during his time in service, he'd be around all the aircraft. He wanted to become a pilot. So he went to his squadron commander or what have you and said, I want to learn how to fly those airplanes. How can I become a pilot? This is back, World War II era. His commander laughed in his face and said, black people don't fly. Fall back in line. And so Reverend Russell White held on to that for decades later, and he vowed to open up a flight school right in the middle of the most urban neighborhood that you can find, and he's from there, so just so happened to be Newark in East Orange. So he was gonna open up a flight school and give every kid the opportunity to learn how to fly. And so if it wasn't for Reverend, I don't know where I would be, on my path to being a pilot. And so now fast forward, the Eagle Flight Squadron is the name of his nonprofit organization. He has since passed, but the Eagle Flight Squadron is something I hold near and dear to my heart because it gave me my start and it gave me a path to becoming a pilot. So I joined Eagle Flight. I immediately started flying because I was 16 years old, and I would get my private pilot license, which is your first license that you would get as a pilot, and I got that while I was in high school, all for free. Yeah. So because of Reverend White's vision and his drive and his passion, he gave me and a lot of the kids in my neighborhood an opportunity to be pilot and just to dream bigger, dream higher. Like I said, there's no pilots in my, there is now, the Eagle Flight, since it's, well, yeah, me. But since Eagle Flight started, which it had its, they first opened up their doors in 1975, which I heard that's when NAWBO was created. But yeah, 1975, they've been in operation, and I said, call it divine intervention. They moved they were in a church basement in Newark, and then they moved locations to this abandoned firehouse in East Orange, across the street from my house. So divine intervention at its finest. So I'm there. I elevate to the highest rank amongst the kid cadets. I'm the squadron commander. You know, I'm a licensed pilot. I'm doing my thing. Now I'm about to go to college, and I can fly in college. Oh my gosh, my path was set. It was laid out. I have a plan. And before I graduated, Reverend White called me into his office, and he said, "I'm so proud of you, Christine." Christine is my other name. You know, I have a lot of aliases. You know, I don't want people to know my real name. So, and I'm actually gonna change my name here before the end of the year. So, but I have a lot going on. But so Christine is my first name. Angel is my middle name. So he says, "Christine, I'm so proud of you. You represent the sisters of the skies." And so hence, you know, when I started my organization, that was an easy name for me to select. So fast forward, now I've gone through college. I'm a full-blown pilot. I'm now serving in the United States Coast Guard. I'm active duty. I'm my second tour in Mobile, Alabama. I'm just randomly scrolling Facebook, and for the first time in 13 years, because I'd been flying since I was 16, the first time in 13 years, I saw me. I saw a black female pilot. Now, like I said, I've been flying since I was 16. I've been to hundreds of airports, civilian and military. I have a couple thousand hours flight time, you know, at this point, and I had never seen a black female pilot. I've never seen myself. And it's just one day on Facebook, I see this lady, pilot uniform, you know, commercial airline pilot, flying jumbo jets around the world. Oh my gosh, my jaw dropped. I immediately slid into her DMs. And for you guys that don't know what DMs are, it's a direct message. It's an opportunity for you to send a private message to someone on social media, okay? So I slid into her DMs, and you know, just total fangirl. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't know me, but I love you. We just get to know each other, you know, just complete, she's probably like freak. But no, she was actually very, very nice. We exchanged numbers. Her name is Nia, and she's the co-founder of SOS. But in our conversations that we were having, and I was just telling her, she's the first black female pilot that I had ever seen. And she was like, yeah, there's not a lot of us, and she could name pretty much all of the black female pilots that are flying commercially. And I was like, you know what, just kind of half jokingly said, I'm gonna start a group me chat, and I bet we could probably get all of the sisters in aviation in this chat. Military is really easy to track, and you know, on the civilian side as well, or commercial airline side as well. And so challenge accepted. She invited everyone that, you know, all the sister pilots that she knew, and I didn't know any, but now social media is a thing. So now I'm seeing these minority women pilots, so I slide in their DMs saying, hey, you know, join our little group me chat so we all can get in one place, get to know each other, network, all that good stuff. And we did. And lo and behold, we had all of, you know, the black and brown women in the industry in our little group me chat. You know, so I named the group me chat. Of course, guess what I named it? Sisters of the Skies. And I'm like, oh, this is great. We're all here. All right. It was one of the SOS members. She came to me, American Airlines pilot, Beth. She came to me, and she said, it's great that we're all here. We're networking, but what are we going to do to help the next generation of black and brown girls reach this point where we're at? And I was like, oh, man. And you know, the military, when you present a problem, you also present a solution, at least a couple of solutions, right? So the military, I was like, that's a great idea. What do you suggest? And She said, you know, we should offer a scholarship. And I was like, I think that's a pretty good idea. So all the ladies in the group, we kind of puddled our money together and we offered our first, scholarship. And we found out that if we became an organization, a nonprofit organization, then we could start asking for larger amounts of money from corporations. And so we got ourselves together, got ourselves organized, and then we became Sisters of the Skies Incorporated. And to date, we were incorporated back in 2017. And to date, we've given away over $500,000 worth of flight training scholarships. And we are definitely, I believe, on pace to cross the 7-figure mark by this time next year. So just aiming high. And so Sisters of the Skies, we're here, we're rolling. We put on aviation camps for local girls around the area. We've done it in Houston, Dallas, and we just invite the young girls around ages 11 to 18 years old to come on out, and they get to fly, actually fly the aircraft. They get to tour air traffic control facilities and just be around aviation for a day. So that's our trademark Girls Rock Wings event, GROW, GROW for short. And we also have 2 scholarship cycles every year. And we have an annual fundraising gala, which, hence we raise funds to give more scholarships away. So Sisters of the Skies is doing very well. And you would think with such a positive organization, and our mission is simply to increase the amount of minority female pilots, black and brown female pilots. That's it. And we do that through scholarship, mentorship, and outreach. Seems all good and positive, right? The haters would say otherwise. And you're like, what haters? Why would someone hate on an organization, that's trying to do good, right? And, I'm a millennial, so I'm on the internets, and and so, I'm there. And for all you on social media, by the way, I'm CargoBae, one word, B-A-E, CargoBae. Follow me, your daughters, women. But so the first deal or partnership that we inked was with Alaska Airlines. Now, Alaska Airlines, they realized that their company could be more diverse, simply put. And so they were pledging to partner with different organizations, SOS being one of them, and they would offer scholarship money. Simple, right? So I was like, yeah, we got our first, major sponsor, it's Alaska Airlines. This is gonna be great. And they launched this whole, Alaska Airlines is partnering with SOS and put it on all their social media handles. And of course, millennial me, I looked in the comments. Now, they always say, stay out of the comments because, there's trolls. They're those keyboard warriors. They live in a dark room and they just wait for any type of initiative or anything, and they're just, keyboard warriors, yeah? Right. And so I go into the comments because that's what I do. And they're always the same. They are always the same. You'll have always several of them that say, oh, I don't care if my pilot is purple, pink, blue, yellow. I just want the most qualified person to fly my plane. Which never said we're not these are qualified ladies. But they'll say that, the haters will say that. And always, 100% of the time, it will devolve into, why are we lowering the standards to just let anybody fly? So you're associating diversity with not being qualified. Where does that come from? And, you know, and it's for your information, because this is the first non-aviation crowd I'm actually speaking to. So I'll break down. I'll try not to use too many big terms. Let me know. So to become a professional pilot, you need to get through at least 5 licenses, all right? And so with each license, you have to take a written ground test. Then you have to take an oral examination where you have the examiner asking you questions on systems and just all types of airplane operations. And lastly, you have to take a flight test. So the examiner's sitting in the right seat of the airplane, watching you, grading you on your maneuvers, your landings, or what have you. And that's for each license. So that's 15 tests that you have to go to even qualify to be a commercial airline pilot or professional pilot. So, but the haters, you know, they hate facts. You know, they you know, alternative facts, no, you know, and yeah, they don't care about that. So I'll sit there, but I always just think it's just so entertaining that they assume that just hiring a minority just automatically means that we're lowering the bar, we're lowering the standards. And it's like, where does that come from? Where does it come from? You know, people, organizations, and I'm in the aviation industry, so that's kind of all I know, but I'm assuming it's the same everywhere. Organizations, companies, businesses, they're afraid of diversification. What makes it so hard? You have to ask yourself, like I said, in the aviation industry, also in the comments, they're like, you know, it's not fair, you know, this minority group of women, they can become pilots, nothing's stopping them, there's no barriers, there's, you know, and all these excuses like, you know, how come there's no, you know, brothers of the skies? Yeah. How come there's no NAWBO? Or is there a NAWBO? Is there a NAWBO? No. Right, because you are the majority, sir. Every day is NAWBO, you know, so. It's just, it's just so interesting. Like, you guys are the majority. Like, it must be nice, you know? But, yeah, but when it comes to really diversifying your company, your organization, or your group, you have to be intentional about it. It's not going to happen organically. You can't just say, hey, my company is great, we're all inclusive. Then how come 100% is the same demographic? You know, you have to be intentional and deliberate when you're trying to diversify your organization. Now, how do I do that? Alaska Airlines, for example. We are going to sponsor these women to become pilots. We're going to donate money. We're going to invest in the training, the flight training of minority women and other groups, several affinity groups. So that's how you become intentional. It's really not that hard. And it just really, it just really grinds my gears that whenever I walk into a room or anyone that looks like me walks into a room, they automatically, you know, size you up. Like, how did you get here? Oh, do you know somebody? Oh, yeah? Are you married to the chief pilot? Right. I'm pretty sure you can relate to it. There's, how about I got here just based on my qualifications and my resume? How about that? All right? That's an idea. So, before I leave, I just wanted to just share a couple of the quotes that I've heard, you know, just people coming up to me, interacting with me, and, you know, they say kids say the darndest things, but no, adults say the darndest things. And the older the adult, the more darned their comments. Oh, Unbelievable, unbelievable. Now, I'm a military pilot. I have thick skin. I have a great sense of humor, so I find a lot of stuff funny. It's very hard to offend me or even get me angry because, you're not gonna get a rise out of me, So I'm gonna tell you about 3 quotes. Okay. First one. I'm in Atlanta Airport, International Airport, terminal side where the passengers are. I have my uniform on, and so I'm in the restroom washing my hands. This old, very old, white woman, she comes to me and says, "Excuse me, are you a pilot?" I said, yes, I am a pilot. I fly for UPS Airlines. I fly cargo. I don't fly people. It's kind of like my spiel, Yeah, so yeah. I fly cargo, not people, because, they're going to ask, oh, what airline, or what do you fly? So, not passenger airlines. But she says, oh, wow, they let you fly airplanes? No, there's more. I was like, I said, yes, I've, served in the military, quickly show her, like, yes, I'm qualified. I'm not just some clown off the street, Yes, they let me fly airplanes. I've been flying for, a couple decades now, yeah. And she said, man, I think it's great. They're finally letting coloreds fly. Coloreds? My gosh. And, I've been stationed in Mobile, Alabama, so I've heard some terms that I didn't even know people still use. But I was like, yes, they let African Americans fly, yes, but she was nice. She wasn't crazy or anything. Another comment that I received in the fields. So this is on UPS property. I used to be stationed in Ontario, California, Southern California area. And there's some Southern California folks here, I can tell. And I'm getting off the jet, UPS jet. I have my UPS uniform on, I have my luggage, and we have drivers that they drive vans, and they take pilots from the aircraft over to our little terminal operations building. So all they do is transport pilots, UPS pilots. And so I get off the jet, load my bags inside of the van, and the driver, starts engaging in small talk. And he says, oh, wow, so you're a pilot? I'm like, yeah, just got hired. I'm having a great time here. I really love this company, and, everything is great. And he was like, okay, you live around here? It's like, no, I live in Jersey. And, so he knows I commute to work. That's a long commute, but I commute from Jersey to California when it's time to go to work. And he says, huh, so you must not have a husband. It's like, right, because surely if I did, I'd have to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen at all times. And I'll leave you with this last one, where my time is up here. And this is something I hear on pretty much every flight that I go on. And I have a flight tomorrow to Mexico, and I'm pretty sure, my interaction with the captain is going to go something like this. And now, mind you, these captains, they're old enough to be my father. A lot of situations, I'm the same age as their children. So it's the first time they've ever flown with a black female in their 30, 40 years of flying. They've never flown with something like me, right? And so every conversation, it just never fails. We start talking about our families, where we come from, what we're interested in, blah, blah, blah. So then I'll tell them, my story, like, yeah, I'm divorced, I have 3 children, and they stop, they're like, well, if you're here, who's taking care of your kids? But no, I return that same energy, because when they tell me their story, and they say they have kids, I'm like, wait, if you're here, who's taking care of your kids, So that's my time, y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you, NAWBO, so much for your time and your attention. I'll be at the UPS booth if you have any questions, but thank you so much. Arigato. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
I don't need a crown to know that I'm a queen. I don't.
All right. Thank you so much, Angel. Thanks for sharing and being vulnerable with us on inclusion and your vision and stories from your journey. And also thanks to Jeff for joining us and to our sponsor, UPS, for this inspiring breakfast. UPS is really a strong partner of NAWBO. I think Jeff mentioned over 20 years at this point, and really does work with us on our mission throughout the year. So we appreciate them and their support. This concludes our breakfast session, but I wanted to share a couple of things that are going on today so that you don't miss out. We have, after this session from 9 to 10, there's networking, and the exhibit hall is open, so please go and check out the booths that are there. There's shopping, there are vendors there, and our sponsors are there. So please go check that out from 9 to 10. Then the workshops will be at 10 o'clock. There are 4 workshops, I believe, so please check your agenda and to see which you would like to participate in and find where those workshops are being taken. And then we have a really big drawing at 11:30 and wanted to make sure everyone knew that you do have to be present to win, so didn't want anyone to miss out on that. So we are going to be doing the raffle drawings in the exhibit hall at 11:30. So if you have not yet contributed to the Institute, on the tables right out here, if you would like to go make your donation, then you are entered into the drawing for the Tory Burch bag that was donated by Bank of America. Thank you very much for that. And also a Teal Away bag will be another prize that will be given away for that drawing. And then we will have, if you finish your passport, we will be having that drawing as well. So please, that you have some time to do that now after this session. If you finish your passport, you will be entered into the drawing for the Dell computer. So that will be conclude our morning, and then we'll get back here and join each other for the lunch and general session. So if anyone has questions, please find a team member, but go enjoy your networking. Thank you.
I'm coming out tonight. I'm coming out tonight.